The US men's national team are in Music City ahead of a massive week of World Cup qualifying. It all gets started Thursday night when they take on El Salvador. And as a reminder, you can watch that match on Paramount Plus. So much to look forward to. And time now to welcome in Nashville SC in the US men's national team defender Walker Zimmerman to join us here on CBS Sports HQ. Walker, thank you so much for joining us. It's good to see you. How are you and how's it been reuniting with all your teammates in Nashville?
I'm well. Thanks for having me on. It's extremely exciting. You know, it's finally here. We've been waiting for this for a long time, and there were a lot of smiles, a lot of friendly faces that we got to see today at training. So we're ready to go.
It's your favorite former U.S. men's national team defender, Jimmy Conrad. Had to get that out. Secondly, I wanted to ask, this seems the roster seems like a nice blend between the Nations League roster and the success that you and the rest of the guys had at the Gold Cup. How do you merge these two? And obviously everybody's friends and everybody's going to be polite, but there's a lot of camaraderie that you have to get on the page very quickly because you have 3 games in 7 days.
Yeah, there is. And honestly, I think that started a long time ago. It started with kind of building this program, building the culture, and really having guys buy into you're going to do whatever it takes to help the team win. And so I think we have a really good group here who's kind of all on that same page where whether they're playing, starting as a sub on the bench, everyone's here to accomplish the same goal, and that's qualify for the World Cup. So it's a very important 3 games. We're excited. Like I said, it's been a long time, and we're ready to go.
Hey Walker, good to talk to you, mate. You're looking good. And first of all, congratulations on winning the Golden Cup. And I would like to know, what is the feeling of you that you are only 28? When I was thinking, oh, he looks 25. No, he's only 28. And you are one of the oldest in the roster. How is that feeling? How is that feeling so young? How in your peak of your career, and you got so much young players? What is what is the role that you think that you're gonna have for these 3 games that you're gonna have? Because what I see from outside is that 4 of you that they are the most experienced one. You have to help a lot to those youngers that they are gonna get maybe their first goal, maybe their first game in the national team.
That's a great question. You know, we have, thankfully, a lot of leaders in this group, a lot of guys who have gotten caps under their belt. I know I saw the graphic you guys put up of 6 with World Cup qualifiers experience. But it's a group that's, you know, they've proven in their club and their domestic leagues that they're more than capable of handling pressure. They're more than capable of stepping up in big moments. And it was such good exposure for everyone with the Nations League and Gold Cup this summer. And so that's why I think you see a blend of players from both of those tournaments, because they were very successful for the program. And so that means that guys had to play well. And so I'm excited to be here. You know, like I said, it's an honor every single time you get called into a camp, but when it gets to World Cup qualifying time, we're all ready to go, and we're all going to support each other, do whatever we can to help us qualify.
Ready to go. You're using the right words. We're all excited. Everyone's excited. The media is excited. The fans are excited. Everyone seems to be buying into the product right now, including Jimmy Conrad, who's not easy to be able to get on board. However, because of this chemistry and because of the culture that's been grown there with Greg Berhalter in charge of you guys, why is it so unique? I mean, what is so unique about the group? It looks like every single player likes the next one. You're all trying to help each other out. Obviously, different cultures, playing in Europe, playing obviously in Major League Soccer as well. But what is so unique about this group that we are all buying into that this could be the real deal?
No, that's a great question. And I think it honestly goes back to just the mentality of being selfless. You know, it's how can I make the guy next to me better? And if you can actually take that mentality onto the field and know they're going to fight for them, bleed for them for 90 minutes, that goes a long way. And I think you're actually seeing that, and you saw that this summer. And so I think it gives fans, you know, a big reason to believe in this team. And that ultimately got us the 2 trophies this summer and has us feeling really good heading into these qualifiers.
Walker, talking of that chemistry, give us an insight into what it's been like in these camps. I know that you've just got there for this one, but what do you do in downtime? How are you bonding? You know, there's so much pressure on you from the media. So how is this group really relaxing when it's not game time?
It's another really good question. You know, I'm actually going to take charge and be the commissioner of the first ever, to my knowledge, U.S. Men's National Team Fantasy Football League. So we're finalizing our 12 members of that league, but that'll take up some time with everyone preparing their mock draft. So we're excited for that. And then ultimately at meals, we got guys doing crosswords together, daily puzzles. With restrictions, sometimes with COVID, we aren't able to hang out quite as much as we would like. But there's usually always team activities at least once or two times a camp that everyone gets to kind of let loose and really enjoy each other a little bit more.
Walker, I remember having a conversation with you a couple of years ago. I think we were coming back from somewhere in the Northeast, and we were talking about your future and how happy you were in LA, and now things have changed, but you're in a great place right now, as Lucho just touched upon. I mean, how happy are you personally with where you're at this point in your career, being a part of this group of players, trying to get to a World Cup? That must be very special for you personally.
It's extremely special. I mean, this is the goal. This is it. You know, is trying to be on a World Cup roster, playing a World Cup, and this is the next step: is being involved in qualifying. Again, doing whatever I can to help this team win. And so, being in Nashville, yes, it was a big shock leaving LA. We talked about that, but I'm really happy now. It's a place. It's very family friendly. I have a home here now, a newborn baby boy. Shout out Tucker. And a new dog. So, you know, things are really settling down from the home front, and it's a great city to kind of enter that next phase of my life. With that being said, it hasn't stopped my competitiveness and my passion for wanting to be a part of this team and this cycle. So, yeah, again, I'm gonna do everything I can to be a part of it.
Super.
Walker Zimmerman has found that inner peace, and I'm here for that. Now, what I don't have inner peace personally is that we didn't qualify for the last World Cup, and I'm still bitter about it, Walker. And I'm sure you were watching it just like the rest of us, and now you actually can have some influence on making sure we qualify this time around. How much of that is part of Greg Berhalter's narrative in terms of let's not make the same mistakes that we did the last World Cup cycle?
You know, honestly, there isn't a whole lot of narrative being focused on things that happened in the past. I think, if anything, there's a narrative about being in the present. And we've talked about that a lot over the past couple of years is, again, each camp, each day, each moment. And that was the theme of the Gold Cup is we talked about, you know, how do you climb Mount Everest one step at a time? You know, how are we going to qualify for the World Cup? It's going to be one game at a time, one play at a time, 1 second at a time. And so that's more of the narrative is control the things that we can control. Things in the past are out of our control. And so that's why I think we're all really excited to just start and get this thing going and be ready from play one of game one.
Well, it's a fresh and exciting start, and we are looking forward.
I'm fired
to
up right now.
Me
I'm ready
too.
to go. I might run through this brick wall here in a minute here.
Is it Thursday yet? Walker, best of luck this week. We're looking forward to watching you. We'll all be cheering you on in these World Cup qualifiers, and expect a message from Jimmy Conrad as well. I'm sure he'll want to join in with that fantasy team that you've all got going.
All the best.
Thank you.
Brilliant to have Walker Zimmerman there with us. Well, let's talk about some of the key players, because as we've said all along, Jimmy, Greg has got some decisions to make when it comes to different positions. So you've actually put together your starting 11 for us. So walk us through it. Who have you gone for?
Yeah, I'm going to start with Matt Turner in goal. I actually think that might be the biggest point of discussion. Do you go with Matt Turner? Do you go with Zach Steffen? I'm going with Matt Turner. I think he's been excellent. I thought he was tremendous in the Gold Cup. Didn't give up a goal in the run of play, only gave up a penalty. And I just think he's in good form. Zach Steffen, obviously the argument against him is that he's not getting regular minutes for Manchester City. And then in the back, I like the back three. Now, Walker Zimmerman could fit in here for sure. It just depends, right? We have to decide and make decisions on what this roster is going to look like throughout all 3 games. But I like Miles Robinson. I thought he was excellent. He scored the game winner on a set piece against Mexico in the Gold Cup final. John Anthony Brooks was tremendous in the Nations League, and as well, he's been very good for Wolfsburg to start the season. Mark McKenzie has been good as well, and I want to see those 3 play against each other. And then we have the 2 wingbacks. Anthony Robinson just recently scored his first goal for Fulham. I want to see him bomb forward. Serginho Dest is the other wingback. I got Tyler Adams kind of sitting in the 6 and Weston McKennie a little bit higher, a little bit more box-to-box. I think Weston McKennie is going to have a chip on his shoulder for only playing a half for Juve and seeming like he's second-hand goods for Allegri. And maybe he'll move on to Everton or Tottenham or Aston Villa. Hopefully he makes that move so he can go where he's wanted. I like Gio Reyna a lot. I want Josh Sargent to get a crack at it. And I'm going with Brendan Aronson over Christian Pulisic, and I'm doing that because I just don't think Pulisic has played recently. Now, he can come on as a super sub. I'm happy to have a discussion about any of these selections, but like we've been saying before, I'm going to echo all the sentiments, is that we have a lot of depth. We could go with Conrad de la Fuente if we want, and we can bring some players off the bench that can help us. But where I can feel like we can get at El Salvador is out on the wings. Mexico scored their 1 goal against them in the Gold Cup from the right back position, and I think Sergiño Dest is going to have a lot of success and a lot of time on the ball to actually help us have some success getting some opportunities. So I'm feeling the wing backs is the way to go with 3 center backs.
Yeah, I think you're right with the formation, Jimmy, and you're not too far away with your starting 11 at all. I think you're pretty close. I would be obviously leaning towards Josh Sargent because of his experience, but after the week that Pepe's just had, I would not be surprised if Greg threw him straight in there. And if it's not from the get-go, it might be pretty quickly in the second half, or see how the result is going, the game's going, then you make those changes pretty quickly. You've got to look at these games as a 3-game set, and because of the quality you have in your roster, you don't necessarily have to stick to that same 11 game in, game out, and the next game in, game out. You don't have to do that. You can chop and change and maybe set an 11 up to beat this next opponent. And then when that game is over, you focus on who the next opponent is, and then where can I make some changes to get fresh legs in and get the players who are sitting on the bench, who are eager to get on, who are just as good as the player who started the last game, a chance to shine. And Jimmy's not far away. So there's 3 or 4 positions where I think are up for grabs. Obviously, Christian Pulisic's position right now will be very interesting. Lucho touched upon the importance of him. If Christian's fit and he wants to go, he goes. I mean, he's the leader of this team. He's the guy who's pushing us all the way. He's the creator. He's the goal scorer. He's everything for this team. So I'm expecting some big-time performances, especially from the leadership group. And John Brooks has got a massive, massive task at hand right now. And also, Jimmy, the one other area from your 11, I'm slightly leaning towards Stefan just because of the experience now. And he's a young boy himself, obviously young in his own career. I'm leaning a little bit more towards him. I watched Matt Turner's performance at the weekend. It was good, nothing much wrong, but he did lose that game, made one error, I thought, and I think that Stefan might get that nod just ahead of him slightly.
What do you think, Lucho?
Actually, I'm surprised that Jimmy didn't mention Acosta that play in the middle, a player who has been involved in 2 of the competitions they won already, a player who has got experience, and we got him talking about how important is experience in the first couple of games. You are surrounded by a very young player that, yes, they are bold, that they are going to go forward, but you guys know that it's not easy when you play away, when you play against tough competitions, against a crowd that is against you, when you have to travel. And having a couple of 3 players who can tell you, come closer to you and tell you, no, this is okay, that's fine, no worries, next one. These kind of situations are gonna happen in the games, and you need leaders. Yeah, Christian Pulisic is gonna be a leader, but remember, players who are up front, normally they don't have many chances to go back, to go in the middle, are the ones at the back who are going to move forward, who are going to talk to the players up front, who are going to organize always from the back. From the front, organizing the team is very difficult. So I'm surprised, but definitely it's a very good 11, what you mentioned.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Lucho, and I'm happy I got the microphone back so I could defend some of my choices because you guys are coming at me pretty hot. What I'll say is, with the back 3, and it just kind of depended on where you wanted to have your numerical advantages, and I think you could have a double pivot of Tyler Adams and Acosta, and if you went with your back 4, then I think the double pivot makes a lot more sense, and maybe McKinney can play a little bit higher off your shoulder. I mean, I just love that we can have this conversation, that we have enough options, that we can play different formations, that we can attack in different ways, that we can be dominant in the middle, or we can go out wide. But to your point, Lucho, I'm a big Kellyn Acosta fan. I think he's proved himself many times over, and now I think he's won over the casuals that were a little maybe unsure of him. And then with regard to Christian Pulisic, just to finish off, I think he comes on against El Salvador, potentially if he's not feeling fit enough, or if Greg doesn't think he's there just yet, as a super sub, maybe comes on at halftime, and then he starts the other 2 games. I'm not just leaving out Christian Pulisic. He obviously is our most influential player. When he's on it, he is one of the best in the world at going at people. I just like Brendan Aronson right now. I think he's been very sharp for RB Salzburg, and I think he has that urgency. That's what I like about his game, and I think a lot of our players have it. When they get it, they want to go do something with it, and I don't want us to lose that because we want to play safe. I don't want us to play safe. I want to play us on the front foot and continue to get after El Salvador, not give them a chance to breathe. And if we do that, we're going to be fine. We will get all 9 points, as Ian correctly predicted.
Yep, 100%, Jimmy. Aronson rested at the weekend as well after a top performance in the Champions League qualifiers before that. So, yeah, I'm all on board for that. I just love the fact that Jimmy goes first, so then we can
Yep,
handpick
exactly.
where we can see where maybe he's got it wrong, and then he tries to defend himself. It adds a nice little flow to the show. We should make this happen more often, Poppy.
Jimmy, the guy said we don't want to give our 11s, we just want to pick on Jimmy's. So it was all down to
That's
you
fine.
today, and I completely agree with it. I love it, and the pressure is on. The matches are coming up, so mark your calendars. Thursday night, it all gets started in El Salvador. That one available on CBS Sports Network and Paramount Plus. Then back home to take on Canada in Nashville, and on the road to conclude the first set of matches against Honduras September 8th. Thanks so much for joining us today. We will see you on Thursday.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.